It's Room 442. I'm James Sharman. She is Sarah Pararia. It's Ballon d'Or season, Sarah, with Mr. Messi doing what Messi does. We thought we'd pick our top 10 players from the current Ballon d'Or time frame, which is basically last season. Mm-hmm. It's tough, right? It's way harder than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
Now, the criteria is officially based on individual performances and decisive and impressive character, collective performances and honors, class, and fair play. The whole gamut.
Yeah.
Now, our lists contain a lot of players on both lists, right? You can't debate Messi, I don't think, half these guys. But there's some obvious ones that stand out, I think, on both our lists. So I want you to pick one of mine to start with that you think is just absurd, ridiculous, and stupid.
It's Lautaro Martinez. I don't need to think twice about that one. I know your argument is that he won the World Cup, and how many goals? 21?
21 in the Serie A, which is second in the race for the Golden Boot.
Okay, so someone that you don't have there is Julian Alvarez, who won the treble, the Ballon d'Or. He had 17 goals last season for Manchester City. I think we forget because Erling Haaland was just doing too much. But to me, if we're going for another Argentine, it's you know how many people? There's only like less than 10 folks that have ever won the treble and the World Cup in the same calendar year too. So that alone is such an achievement. He's only been getting better and better. I know it's based off last season, but this to me, Julian Alvarez has to be there, has to. And Lautaro Martinez also was abysmal for Argentina.
let me he did score in the World Cup and won the World Cup, right? Albeit, perhaps not as a prolific goal scorer, but a guy that kept getting picked by his manager, right? He also, let's mention, 21 goals for Inter Milan, who also won Coppa Italia. Mm-hmm. Right, and he scored 2 goals in the final of Coppa Italia. He had a pretty good season.
Oh,
right?
He did.
Alvarez, I love Alvarez, right? But he didn't start for his club that often.
He still got 17 goals.
Doesn't matter.
It's a matter of 4 goals, and we're talking about a treble versus winning, the Scudetto and the Coppa Italia. So, sorry, that one big one is the Champions League, and Alvarez played way more. Alvarez had 4 goals in the World Cup. Alvarez played almost every single match, I think 5 of 7. Lautaro Martinez came on, was such a disaster that he didn't come back on until the final game.
I cannot
penalty.
pick. I know we weight, World Cup heavily in this. Mm-hmm. I cannot hand out a Ballon d'Or top 10 place for a guy that doesn't start for his club. It is 17 goals, off the bench, fantastic. He's great. And this year, he might well be in the top 5 this time next year, right? Mm-hmm. He's that good. He's scoring goals, and he's starting now because Pep's now figured it out. Mm-hmm. But he wasn't doing that. I can't have that. I'm sorry. No chance. That being said, there's some other options I think we both agree were tough to leave out, which I found, you said to me off camera, if it was top 15, be way easier.
Oh, no, yeah.
You put Harry Kane there. He's not on my list.
I'm actually shocked you didn't. I know. I feel like I did it almost because I thought I was going to be with you and Albert. You guys were going to kill me if I didn't. This was more of like a pressure thing. But Harry Kane, when you think about it, the thing is, I think he also was overlooked last season because of Haaland. But didn't he still have like 32 goals?
30 goals in the Prem.
Yeah.
For a team that finished outside the European spots.
That's the thing. And I get it, England as well. But he still was the guy for England. Maybe shouldn't be there. Like, one for me that was really tough was not putting Benzema in there. I get that he wasn't in the World Cup at all, but he was phenomenal
Class
for
and
Real
fair
Madrid.
Play.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
Antoine Griezmann.
Bit of history there, isn't there? Let's be honest.
Stop.
Antoine Griezmann should be there. I mean, listen, didn't win anything, but again, redefined himself as a midfielder.
Yeah.
Was brilliant.
But that's
for France
why.
in the
But
World
that's
Cup.
why I didn't put him in, because he actually didn't win anything. But that's when it came down to making that, like, going from 10 to 15, because I was like, okay, something, at least one trophy, because they should. But
well, I'm surprised you have Lewandowski so high. Now I know he won the Golden Boot in La Liga, right?
Yeah. He's the best striker in Spain.
Poland, World Cup, didn't even factor in. In the
He won the league.
In the Champions League, Barca did nothing.
He won the
Europa
league in Spain.
They did nothing.
He won the league in Spain,
and
he scored. And he's the best
in all of Europe for last season.
Yes,
just
that
because
is
he won
enough.
just because he won the Golden Boot in a league.
Yes, that
guarantees you
and winning the league. If it was the Premier League, you would be saying, "Oh, it has to go."
Harry Kane got 30
so
goals.
much bias.
He was not on my list.
He didn't win the Premier League. I'm saying winning a league is so important. You don't give La Liga enough credit, I'm telling you, because he is the best striker in La Liga even to this day, because Bellingham even right now is not
3 teams can win that thing. Usually 2 teams can win that
Doesn't matter.
league.
That's not an issue. La Liga ran European football and still is. Like, who's winning the Champions League and Europa League and the Europa Conference League?
Man City won
last year. Before that, the past 10 years, Sevilla, Real Madrid, Barcelona, Villarreal, like England is not winning them. So that's a tired narrative, but you win a league and you're the top striker in that league and you get the Pichichi, that's enough. That's enough.
Again,
He's
by
overlooked.
By not committing to certain players in these top 10 lists doesn't mean they're terrible players. They're good players. They're great players. But should he be there in front of a Kvaratskhelia?
The Kvara was one that I wanted to put in there. I put Victor Osimhen instead because I went for somebody that scored the goals. Kvara was so crucial for Napoli. Don't get me wrong. I completely think so. But I went with Osimhen because he won the golden whatever.
To me, Osimhen was number 3 for me, just behind Haaland and Messi, who gets in there for me. And listen, that is still quite controversial, the Messi pick, because club-wise, it wasn't typical Messi, right? But he won the World Cup. I think nostalgia does count for something in this, and you weight the World Cup goals, 7 goals, 3 assists in the World Cup. He got 3 goals before the cutoff in North America for Inter Miami.
Not to mention that first goal free kick.
I know.
Insane.
I think, listen, you'll never convince those that don't think Messi should win this, that he should win it.
I don't really think
but that's no point in discussing that. Haaland, the treble, but didn't factor in the World Cup. The fact that he scored 36 goals in the Prem. Is he second for you?
He is in my list.
Yeah,
but you know what? We were talking about this off air, and I'll say this right now, too. I think Kylian Mbappe is getting robbed in a sense because he plays for PSG. Let's be honest.
100%.
What he did in that World Cup, too, was absolutely incredible. And I will still say this. If I'm building a team right now between the two, who am I picking? I'm picking Mbappe because he's overall so much of more of a well-rounded player. He can not only score those goals, but he can assist and create. And he has that sauce that I keep saying Haaland is missing. Albert was just saying this off air, and I'll bring this up too, that if Mbappe and France had won the World Cup, would Mbappe get the Ballon d'Or? And we both said yes.
I think so.
And he said no chance. And I think I don't believe that. I think it would be. I think that's the one thing he was just short. And then Haaland winning the treble, of course, and doing what he did.
I think it's commonly accepted that Mbappe is the best player in world football right now.
Yeah.
I think so.
Well,
so had he won the World Cup,
people think. I think people last year may have said Erling Haaland.
No, he's one-dimensional. Listen, and don't get me wrong, that's not criticizing Haaland.
Yeah.
He's the best pure goal scorer in the box in the world. And 36 goals in the Prem, a brand new record, just incredible. Scored for fun in the Champions League as well.
But even this season, a bit off topic, but right now, who's the best player in the world?
Right now, again, okay, so if I'm building a team today and it's a draft, and who's the first player I'm picking?
Isn't it not Jude Bellingham?
Do
you know what I mean?
I have a little note here. He was in the conversation for top 10.
Absolutely. What
Didn't
Dortmund
make it.
did. Oh,
let me tell you this, Sarah. I think we'll be sitting here this time next year, and
Jude's
we'll be
on track to
discussing
win.
Jude is winning the Ballon d'Or. I think if he continues
if he continues, totally, I completely agree. Last season, he had it really rough with Dortmund, just bottling it right at the end, but he was the most crucial player for them. Did everything he needed to do for England. Now he's at Madrid doing all of this. He's amazing. Like, he is carrying Madrid right now.
10 in 10.
No, that's nuts. Like, no one else is scoring for this team.
Scored 2 goals against your Barca, who were the better team.
Yeah, no, but that's what I mean. Like, I'm so curious to see if he gets injured, what would happen to Real Madrid, because right now they are so heavily reliant on him. But my point initially from all that was that it's still not Erling Haaland that you're saying is the best player right now.
No, it's not. It's not. And I stand by that. And listen, I want Haaland on my team.
Yeah.
In that number 9 spot.
But he's not your first grab.
No, I prefer more versatile, multi-dimensional footballers.
Absolutely.
And every team needs that selfish striker.
Sure.
But, he'll have 14 touches in a game.
Yeah.
Best player in the world has more than 14 touches in a game. All right? But what are 14 touches? And you might get 2 or 3 goals out of those 14 touches. But yeah, if I'm picking today, it's going to be Mbappe. There's 2 players here I want to pick out. Rodri, he made yours as well?
Oh, has to. Rodri.
Again, a treble counts for a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, do you know what the thing is? I see you have Ruben Diaz too, great shout. But I have Rodri and KDB there because, Rodri also won the Nations League with Spain, which whether or not you factor that in, that is a trophy. But those 2 are the most important pieces for Manchester City, and we've seen that now this season. Ilkay Gundogan just maybe short.
Oh, that was tough.
That broke my heart.
He just missed my list as well.
That broke my heart. But truly, those 2, like would Manchester City have won the treble if they weren't playing? I don't think so.
Bernardo Silva too should have got some votes.
Oh, like
It's so difficult.
Starting City 11 gets the whole list.
Vinicius Jr. made both our lists.
Yeah, this one is so weird because the more
Didn't score that many goals.
I think it was 23.
Was it 23 last year?
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay, it's not
That's
bad.
not bad. I mean, and
But
to be fair,
I thought it was more than that.
Real Madrid, I mean, they only won the Copa del Rey, but they still won that. He's such an important piece. He really turned on last year too for Real Madrid. Like, he was maybe their best player, bar Karim Benzema. I don't know, but same thing happened then with him in Brazil. Like, he's so important for every team he plays that I think we just saw like brilliance. I think he might be the one player that we both kind of had that maybe didn't win as much or score as many goals, but we were kind of like, if you don't think that he was one of the best footballers that we were watching, he was really doing everything.
And I think he's going to be in the list for a long time to come as well.
Yeah, I think he should.
And again, this past weekend, by the way, subjected to horrible racist abuse. It's crazy. Whenever he plays, it seems.
2 weekends in a row.
Yeah. It's brutal. We should do a draft at some point. We'll sit in this. We'll get Albert here and draft our Room 442 ideal 11 and just see who comes up.
Of players currently playing?
Currently playing. You can build a super team right now. Galacticos, because it works so well.
Oh, I think...
Mbappe's first.
Wait, so if you pick Mbappe, I can't pick Mbappe?
No, we'll do one team.
We all...
A collective.
Oh, a
We'll
collective.
take turns. Like, I'll give you the first pick. I'll take second pick. We'll see. I like a strong spine. So Rodri will be really higher than a lot of people might think.
Yeah.
And of course, the centre back is pretty important.
Yeah.
But Mbappe's coming first for sure.
All right. Well, let's do that. We'll do that sometime soon.
That'll be fun.
Yeah.
It? All right. Well, listen.
We'll just fight each other.
I know exactly. I think we're generally speaking on the same plane here.
Yeah.
Right. We kind of agree for most things.
Sorry, let's just reference those players though that we want to give some love to: Benzema, Griezmann, Gundogan, Bellingham, Jamal Musiala is even a shout there. Like, they're Kvicha. Yeah, it was tough. It was tough.
That's why people love lists. People are never happy with lists. Anyway, that's Room 442. Sign up when you can, please, to 442picks.ca. It's free to play, and there are monthly and weekly prizes available. Room 442 is brought to you by North Star Bets. That's a win.